Well, blessed Monday to you as we come with your daily encouragement. I apologize for not being around last week. Had voice issues. Those of you who have come to our weekly worship will know that I struggled with a cold after Palm Sunday. So I had already recorded all of Holy Week, but I hadn't recorded the week after. So I do apologize for the gap here. And also that we're back into the book of Revelation, Revelation 21. And just to kind of update, we're at a new heaven and a new earth, for the old heaven and the old earth have passed away. And the big thing that connects from where we left off to this week is the Lord, Jesus, will make all things new. And so, after he writes this, he says, Then he said to me, that is, Jesus said to John, who's writing this, it is done. He has made all things new. He is at the end of time making all things new. Of course, we are in the process of that, but when we reach the end of Revelation, all things have been made new. Then he said, I am the Alpha and the Omega. Now, let me just interpret that right now. It says, the beginning and the end. Now, what is alpha? What is omega? It's kind of simple, but you might miss out because it's in a foreign language. Alpha is the first letter of the Greek alphabet. In fact, it's interesting with how different the languages are. Alpha, Beth are the first two letters of most of our modern languages, especially even biblical languages. Even in Hebrew, very different language, the first two letters are Aleph and Beth, just like AB or Alpha, Beta in Greek. So all of them are very, very much related. So what's the deal with the Omega? Is that there are two types of O's in the Greek language. There is Omicron, which means the small O, and then there is Omega, the big O. And the big O comes at the very end of the alphabet. And so Jesus is making a reference to the beginning and the end of the alphabet. If we would have our, in modern English, we would say, I am the A and the Z. Or if we're Canadian, I am the A and the Z. You have those beginning and ends. And so that's what Jesus is speaking of, especially as we arrive at the last chapter of Revelation 21. This is not the beginning, although Jesus was there from the beginning. When God spoke, he spoke the word, and the word was Jesus. And the word said, let there be light, and there was light. But now at the very end, he is the final word. He is the Omega. He was there from the beginning. He spans time. Now, let's take a little side again about time. Time is a concept that happens while we are in this world. Because when we get into the next world, we are in eternity, where there's no reference to beginning and end. And so, to some extent, that's what Jesus is saying here, too. You reference like things that happened long ago and things that are yet to happen, or when we've arrived now at the Omega point, we are at the end. But I'm not even constrained by time. I am the beginning and I am the end. I am eternity. So think about that. Because I think that that also makes reference to when we arrive at heaven, which I think is one of the more astounding things to think about. Because what I think what happens, and this is just speculation, but I think it's based on this, is that while we live and we die at certain sections along history is concerned, we all arrive at the same point because eternity begins at a moment that isn't bound by past, present, or future. It is eternity. And Jesus is there from the beginning to the end. And he's of a different order. He's outside of time. He is new life, not just old life. And so it says, the beginning and the end. To the thirsty, I will give water as a gift from the spring of the water of life. So we have water as what God gives us, the nourishment for life. We cannot have life without water. In fact, our bodies are made up of a significant amount, if not more than a third of our whole body weight, if our whole essence is water. And so Jesus gives us that life that is eternal, a life that transcends time. He is making all things, and this is the key word, new, because he is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, and to all who are thirsty, I give new water. God bless you today. We trust that these continue to be words of encouragement. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow.